Oh, there's something in there. Hey guys, welcome back to another video review here on Tech Gooch, and here for another drone accessory is another one actually from the guys over at Drone Pit Stop. Now, they sent this over to me to show you guys, and I've already done one review of a similar category to this, but this is a completely different design. This is, you probably already guessed from my iPad sitting here, is another basically tablet mount for your controller. So it comes in a box kind of like this. I've already been using it, so I just kind of threw it back in the box for fun. I'm going to bring the video in here in a second, but it is a two-piece design where you have a clip that actually clips on the controller like this, and then the actual mount that actually mounts it on top of the controller. The nice thing about this one over the previous one I've actually done is that you'll actually be able to see the display on the controller if you have a Mavic Pro, and it kind of gets it in the field of view. Now, there are some downsides to it as well, but I'm going to bring the video in here so we can actually put it on here, take a peek what it looks like, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we have the actual Mavic Pro controller. I'm going to move that guy off to the side a little bit. This is piece number one, which is the clip. You can obviously tell that this is actually a 3D printed piece. There's no denying the layering that you can see. They actually do put a layer of foam around the inside here, so the actual piece that's actually clipping onto the controller, which basically goes on like that, is not actually going to damage your controller so much. Now, the clip here, as you actually put it on, and I'll show you how it goes on here real quick. You will scrape it a little bit on top, so because you kind of hook it here and you go this way, or how I've been doing it is you just kind of pull it off to the bottom here. You can see there's actually an opening for the USB port. Just kind of put it on there and push to kind of bend it out just a little bit. So you kind of put this in place and bend that out just a hair, and then push forward until she clips. Now to get it off, you just kind of bend it off like that. If you're not careful, though, you could actually scratch the top of your controller. Not that it's a big deal, but it can happen, even though it is plastic. So once you get it in place, you line it up, you'll still have access to the USB port on the bottom, so thank you for making sure that you still have access to that, because with a tablet, that you may actually want to use that port rather than the side port. The actual mount here that actually does the tablet side is... to be honest, the 3D printed, it feels like a higher quality piece than this tablet mount. Now, it is a ball mount, so you can probably get varying versions of this that'll actually clip onto that ball. But you just basically loosen this up to the point where it's really loose, and then you just push it onto the ball. Actually, you can even have it come off and then push it back on. Now, the other thing that I've actually noticed is that I've actually had second flight I used this. I tightened this up as hard as I could get it so that it didn't move too much. And it still moved, to be honest. This is not the best piece here. And it was really hard to unscrew this. So that's one thing that I would definitely tell you to watch out is you may want to have a set of pliers or something with you, because it's not the easiest to grab. Even, oh, geez. There we go. It just doesn't like to move too much once you get it on there and it sits for a little while. The design-wise, though, I like how it actually puts it in front of the controller. However, again, because you're actually changing the actual center of balance of the controller, now it's going to be top-heavy. So if you have too large of a tablet here, it's going to feel like you're trying to support more weight because of that. Now, I have a 10.5-inch iPad Pro. I'm going to actually put it on with the case on and everything, and Apple Pencil still attached. So I'll set it down here. I'll lift. It is big enough to actually support it. However, as you can see, now we have a lot more weight on the front. So when I was using this, actually, you could definitely feel the weight. I mean, it's not something that's just a gimme. The nice thing is that you still have access to the screen, but the bad side is that with this large of a screen, at least, it feels a little wobbly, as you can see, and it's just a lot of weight on the forward. So what I would tell you is that if you're looking to do this specific mount, as much as I love the design in putting it out front, you're going to want a smaller tablet. This is not going to be something for a large 9.7-inch or 10.5-inch iPad in this case. You're going to use more of the smaller type tablets. No doubt in my mind. You could also, to be honest, put it off to the side like this and actually mount like your phone, to be honest, as well. So if you wanted to do that, you can. It does put your phone out front. You'll still have access to the port down here, which when I actually was out doing that, testing the iPad on it, I did the phone as well. I actually liked the phone better because it felt really good, to be honest, and it put the screen up at an angle that worked really well. So this is a huge plus that, in my mind at least, in how I actually function, the iPhone or the phone works a lot better than the tablet on this specific mount. Now, it works in multi-things, just like any of these mounts. You can mount whatever you want here. This is a smartphone/tablet mount. The smaller screens, or like an iPad mini or something, would be probably as big as I would personally go on this. Anything bigger, it gets a little front heavy. And if you have access to like a tablet that has maybe a larger screen that isn't so heavy, that's probably what I would put there. So I do like the design. Like I said, this piece here is a little bit cheaper in my opinion than the 3D printed piece. Also, because of how heavy the iPad is, I almost had it come loose once, where if you actually, like I was showing you when we go to remove this, the tablet was so heavy that it basically almost popped out. So I'd want to watch that if I had something heavy on this as well. A phone isn't going to cause that, but like a large tablet would as well. So definitely want to point that out. So to prove a point, this is the mount after it popped off there. Man, you really got to have fingers of steel to hold on to that. The ball mount on this is that one. This is another company's mount that also is a similar design, but same size ball. Now this one is a lot easier to grab onto, so when you tighten it up really tight, it actually grabs onto the ball better in my opinion. So drone pit stop, if you're going to change one thing on this, change this. I'm not a fan of this. The plastic with all plastic everything versus something like this where you actually have metal rods that actually holds onto the item a little bit better. But the ball mount is so much better on this. So at the price, the other one, this mount that I've already done before, costs more than this specific one. I really like this piece. If I could buy just this piece, I probably would without this, and that way I had multiple ways to mount it. I like having multiple options because depending on what day I'm shooting and what I'm shooting and how I'm shooting, having different mounting options is always a big plus in my opinion. So I think I like the design on this. I don't like the design on this. So sorry, I'm just not a big fan of it at all. So that said, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. If I'm full of it, comment below and let me know that I am, because even though this was sent to me, I'm going to give you an honest answer, and this is garbage, and this works pretty solid as long as you're not using a really heavy device. So that said, guys, comment, share, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. That way we build this channel up. Let me know if there's anything that you want to actually see on here. Head over to thetechgooch.com. You can actually send me direct email right on the website, and let me know if there's something that you want to see on here. I'd love to hear from you guys. But that said, any other further questions or comments, post those below. We'll see you in another video.